Guys doing? Cal here, bringing you your Clash of Spiders and Second Totem Frenzy strategy guide. Of course, brought to you by the Spider-Man Unlimited fan guide. I'm gonna jump in here real quick. I know I didn't get a chance to release any video about Clash of Spiders for the first Totem Frenzy. Just gonna go over the Clash itself here for a second. Pretty much everybody's aware of how this works, but for anybody watching that's newer, of course, you're placed on one of two teams, Team Amazing or Team Superior. The goal of the actual Clash of Spiders, as you see, it's its own separate event here at the top, is for your team throughout the Totem Frenzy events and events like Manga Mary during the week. You collect those little totem symbols that you see there, the little tokens, and you try to collect as many as you can to push your team into winning. Of course, here's the team rewards for your team's winnings and percentage of winning. Progression rewards, definitely kind of lackluster, falling in line with the last clashes. Not very good rank rewards either, but for those of you that do either have the buff spider already or looking to compete in this, definitely at least a lot of ISO there for the top contributor, and then the 2 through 15 at least receive the rank up and a decent amount of ISO. Of course, with the double rewards, you'll receive double of those, so that's pretty cool. But that pretty much covers the Clash itself as an event. Now you'll notice a lot of these crazy amount of totem numbers for progression rewards. The only way to really achieve all the progression rewards is to be able to complete all the progression in the Totem Frenzy and to place in the top slots of the ranked. So you see you receive a huge amount of totems for placing high in this second Totem Frenzy. Again, that's pretty much the only way you're going to get to those completion for Clash of Spiders. Aikman being the buff character for all the Totem Frenzies. This is the second one. There will be one more. That one is going to be global from the news section. Let's see here. You can see, anyway, second Totem Frenzy. My little strategy towards this, whether or not you have the buffed character, which is going to give you that ×10, where objective here is to kill bosses. I've noticed real quick, we'll go through and do some runs here real fast, but I'd say as far as progression rewards and trying to kill bosses faster and place higher on the leaderboard even, try just going in and defeating the first boss and then purposely ending your run and restarting again. The first boss shows up very shortly compared to the rest of the bosses, so you're going to be able to knock out bosses a lot quicker if you have the resources and spider energy to be able to do that. So definitely that's my recommended method for at least completing progression rewards. Same thing for those characters competing for the top spots. I'm sure they're going to be starting to jump up here, but those players who have more of the buffed characters who are trying to compete here, I'd do the same thing. Just go in, beat the first boss, kill yourself, and restart the process. So other than that, not too much to cover. I was going to include some information from Kyravet through the forums. I'm just having a little trouble locating it, so I'll just kind of go over a couple things about it. Obviously, again, the only way to get that buff character is through the Totem Frenzy portal. You see it is on sale for 20 ISO. The thing about this portal is that there are no legendaries or rares or anything. It's all epics. So for some of the earlier players, like lower levels and lower tiers looking to build a decent team, this is actually a very, very good portal for you, because at 20 ISO a pop, a guaranteed epic, you're going to get a great return rate compared to anywhere else in the game. So if you're earlier on in the game and you're looking to build a decent quick team, definitely hit this portal up. It's got a limited amount of cards that you're going to pull from, so hopefully you'll be able to get a couple duplicates, rank up a little bit. But again, anybody who's specifically going for this buff spider, Kyravet constantly in there monitoring data pools. He would know better than anybody just how horrible these portals can be. I know he wrote up a good risk analysis for how much people are placing into these portals and what the return is going to be. I know right now it's repeating the same trend as in the past. It's got a really bad pull rate for the buff character. And the thing to keep in mind about that is all the ISO that you're dumping into this portal with the Clash rewards and Totem Frenzy rewards, there's very little amount of ISO and rewards going on. So in other words, if you're dumping a bunch of ISO into that portal to try and get Aikman, chances are you're going to end up in the negative after this event. And I say that because all the ISO that you are dumping to get Aikman and to compete in these events, basically those top 2 contributor prizes are what's sucking everybody in at this point. And again, if you weren't able to already win one of the first Totem Frenzy leaderboards, then you're basically not going to receive one of those top 15 contributor rewards. So that's really going to take away from any kind of ISO or rewards you're going to receive. Same thing, like I said, in the Totem Frenzy, you see there's really a small amount of ISO to be earned. The double rewards does help, but again, unless you're able to really get in there and grind out for the next 24 hours for one of those top spots, it's really not that worth it. I would recommend basically saving the ISO unless you are an earlier level player, as I specified, to save your ISO for this weekend's portal. I know everybody's excited about Felicity coming to VIP. Again, we're probably expecting really bad rates for the VIP Titan portal, but definitely if you're going to spend your ISO anywhere, I would recommend go ahead and save it for that as compared to this event, because this event is going to give you very little reward compared to investment, unless you just happen to, like I said, be one of those players that really pulled, luckily got, you know, a couple multiple copies of Aikman here. Again, those players that do have 3 and 4 Aikman cards are most likely going to end up in the red for how much ISO they spent to acquire those cards compared to what they will get back. But let's go ahead and just dive in here real quick. I'm going to do a cutscene. We'll jump into doing a couple Totem Frenzy runs, and that should pretty much cover it for this part of Clash of Spiders. I'll do another quick little guide to the next frenzy that comes out, a little strategy for completion of progression and how to compete for the rank rewards. And let's go ahead, get ready, and here's your cutscene to a run.